Hi, this is Steph from Confessions of a Stay-at-Home Mom, and today I'm talking about how to make your own nut butter. So peanut butter, almond butter, pistachio butter, cashew butter, whatever kind of nut butter suits your fancy. It's surprisingly easy to make your own nut butters. I had it in my head that it was going to be really difficult or there was some process to it, and it really amounts to getting the kind of nuts you want and processing them long enough that they release their oils and it's nice, smooth, and creamy. I'm going to make almond butter today, and I'll walk you through the process so you can kind of see what the various stages are. Oftentimes, when people do try to make their own nut butters, they stop too early, and it's chunky or it's got a funny texture, it's coarse, but if you really let it go long enough, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on your food processor and how much you put into the food processor, it comes out smooth and creamy, and it's super, super tasty. So I highly recommend getting unsalted roasted nuts. So roasted unsalted peanuts, roasted unsalted almonds, which is what I have here today. If you want organic, you can get organic. I don't add anything else to my nut butters. I don't add sugar. I don't add salt or some other sweetener like honey. But you can if you want to get a little crazy. Maybe add some cinnamon. But this is just plain old almond butter that I'm making today. So I'm going to put about a pound into my food processor here. I've got this really old food processor from my mom. A pound is about all it can take at a time. Otherwise, it won't really process it well. So if you have like a really nice new one or one that like chops things up like crazy, you can try putting in more, but I just do small batches because it's what's best for my machine. Stage one, I've been processing the 1 pound of roasted unsalted almonds for about a minute. And as you'll see, it's mainly just very finely chopped almonds. Not quite like a flour consistency, but just nice and chopped. So that's just after 1 minute.
I know it's going to be hard to hear me, but as you can see, the almonds, which are starting to, again, be a little more wet than they were before, they're starting to bunch together. And you'll see them kind of all collect on one side, and it'll do that a couple times around, and then it'll start moving again. But that's all part of the process, so keep going once you get to this. I know it's really hard to hear me, but I want to show you that we're at the second to last stage of the almond butter. If you notice, it's moving around a little more fluidly than it was before, and a lot of times people stop there thinking, okay, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. And I've stopped there and put it in a container and called it a day. And I found that it's still really thick and pasty, and it's not as liquidy or smooth as you might want. So even if it's starting to move more fluidly around the food processor, it's not ready yet. Keep going. Alright, the time has come that the almond butter is ready. And you'll know it's ready as you look here. And it's all just flowing around the sides. There are no big lumps or blobs that are chasing each other around the food processor. It's all very liquid. I process it for another minute or two for good measure until it's really smooth and the oils are really well incorporated and released. And then I know it's ready. It'll glisten, and when you take it out, it'll move around. That's the kind of consistency you want. And that is how you make smooth, creamy, homemade nut butters. So now I just want to know, which one are you going to try first? Peanuts, almonds, cashews, pistachios, hazelnuts? I'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment. Thanks, have a good day. One last tip, when you're done your nut butter, whether it's peanut butter, almond butter, or whatever, put it in an airtight container. I have a mason jar here that has a lid, or you can use a Tupperware, and then keep it in the fridge. It'll last longer, and the flavor will keep better if you keep it refrigerated. It won't spoil. So once you're done, make sure it's refrigerated and then enjoy it for the next week or two, if it lasts that long.